Today I'm mega excited to talk to you about the fact that we might finally get a caravan season here in England. It's currently the end of May and we're getting near to June. We hope that by the 4th of July we'll be able to get out and about in our caravans. As you can see, I spent a lot of time sorting my hair out today, so it's blowing an absolute gale here. The one weather that I can't stand is extreme strong winds. Don't mind rain, don't mind snow, but strong winds are one thing that I find really hard to kind of deal with and cope with. Please comment below, what weather do you like or don't like as much as the other ones? So what we'll do is, I think it's time to get in the car and go for a drive. Please give our video a like, and if you don't already, please consider clicking the subscribe button below and the bell notification to get notifications when we make new videos. Stay tuned for a bit of personal information about one of my favourite items. Can't tell you quite yet, but two of the kind of most famous or important words that have came out this year have been unprecedented, which we heard a lot at the start of the coronavirus outbreak, and also this idea of new normal. Now, what we know is that the new normal means things like when we go to the shops, there are large queues and we have to stay 2 meters apart when we're outside, and we can only let so many people inside the shop at any one time. We also know the new normal means that when we're out and about, even outside, we must be at least 2 meters away from other people. We also know that the new normal means that we're probably going to be asked to wear a face covering when we're outside to reduce the chance of giving the infection to other people, even if we're asymptomatic. And is it just me, or do you not only social distance when you're doing walking, but actually do you social distance when you're driving? Not quite 2 meters, but for some reason you feel the urge that when people are on the pavement or on the sidewalk to give them a bit more distance, as if that's going to make an impact. Or some people will drive quite out of their way when you're stopped to make sure they've missed. Please put a comment below, do you give a little bit of social distancing even when you're in the car? Because it's something that I've realised I've started doing. So we're off to the storage yard and we'll catch you in a bit. Hello, are you open yet? I wonder what time is open. I need my fix of looking at new caravans that I can't afford. Or is that just me? Yeah, surely other people do that. Do you do that? Do other people do that? Look at caravans they can't afford? Well, still shut. May start opening in June, but we just don't know yet. Pretty sad that we still can't go and look at caravans that we can't afford. So basically, what does that mean? Sorry, 2 seconds. So basically, what does that mean when we're in our caravans or at a touring site? What are the differences we're going to have in the new normal? So this got me thinking, what is the new normal when it comes to tours, caravans and motorhomes, even camping? Well, what we do know, probably from the 4th of July, if the sites are open, is that facility blocks are more than likely to reduce the spread and transmission to keep that important number R down. Children's play parks are more than likely going to be shut as well, which is a real shame. If we are allowed to socialise on site, it's more than likely that we'll have to be outside our audience and outside our caravans and still stay 2 meters. And on a day like today, that is going to be a bit tricky with everything blown away. Earlier in the video, we said we'd tell you a little bit of important information about me. And this is what it is. My favourite cheap biscuit is a custard cream. Now I know some of you are going to put below, or maybe even switch off the video at this point, but comment below, what is your favourite cheap biscuit? So what I mean is not an expensive one, you can buy them in big packs, but they're relatively cheap. Custard cream. Now the good thing about a custard cream is not only can you eat it like this, but you can also have a cup of tea. It's not quite as good as a hobnob in terms of dunk me, but it is still quite a good biscuit to dunk in your tea and eat then after. So custard cream, definitely number one for cheap biscuits you can buy in big packs. So anyway, back to caravans. This had me thinking, how would people book their caravan sites and how would you book your caravan sites? For us, normally, a good caravan site is a reasonable size, has good washroom facilities, has a children's play park if not possibly two, and is a good location so we can go and venture out and go and see things. But if the sites that we're going to go to maybe at the start don't have the facilities open and don't have the park open, how will that change our minds? The other main thing for us is that we wanted to have space for the girls to go and play about and even socialise. That's quite a big part of being a young person on a caravan site. Socialising and getting to know other people, but that might no longer be allowed in the normal sense. So what would we book instead, and what criteria would we think about in terms of booking a caravan site? So again, put down below, are your ideas of the caravan site changing for you? Have they been adapted from this whole new normal situation that we have at the moment? For us, I think what we're going to be thinking about, and maybe as a family context this might be useful to you, or even if you're a couple, is to go to places that are much quieter. Maybe go to a CL, like the one we're putting on the screen here, that has maybe 5 pitches or a small number of pitches, but doesn't have a shower facility or a children's play park. We're going to have to think very carefully about the location. Can we be socially distanced, but is there enough there with us and the girls, or with you and your family, or just you and your partner, to still keep you entertained? Because the shops aren't going to be open. Instead of the shops being open, we're going to have to think about different things. We're going to have to think about, can we find a site that's maybe next to a little beach, like the one again we're putting on the screen here? Can we find a site where there's lots of walks to go out with the girls, or think about going on bike rides with the girls? Can we think about a site which has some big walks up mountains or big hills? Can we think about maybe a site that's next to a reservoir or a lake, so that gives us some entertainment but is completely free and we can still social distance? We're even considering going to the CLs that have no electricity at all, which will be a first for us, because that gives us a bit more freedom, and also I think it will make it a little bit quieter. One of the things that we're a little bit worried about is we're not the kind of family that books everything in advance. What we like to do is wait a bit later. Now, I looked at Knaresborough Caravan and Motorhome Club site, and that was absolutely booked out for every single weekend between now and the end of August. So that's not something we're going to be able to go to. Maybe the other things we're going to have to think about is playing games in the caravan, or playing games outside, because we no longer have the park available for our children to go and socialise with other children. Obviously, because we're going to have to make a change, maybe moving to CLs or smaller sites, or even sites that don't have facilities, we're going to have to consider things like using our own facilities. Now, we're looking at our Swift 586, that just behind here we have the bathroom, which has a toilet and also a shower. Right, better check we have plenty of toilet rolls in the caravan for when we do get away. Oh, we've got a tiny bit. Now, this was basically just to show you that we obviously have a good set of facilities here in the caravan, with a shower here, although it's currently got the aqua roll in and the extra cushions in, but at least we're lucky enough to have decent facilities. One of the considerations we're thinking about is how do we protect the floor in the shower area and outside in the bathroom for when we're not using it. We got some great mats for our own bathroom. We're going to try and see if we can get some mats that fit the same sort of size, and we're also going to put an extra bit of lino down or an extra bit of plastic down just to protect the floor. We also asked a lot of people on Twitter and Facebook about their opinions, and a lot of people agree with us. Facilities are more than likely going to be shut, although people said you could clean them more often, and you could make sure that the social distancing, maybe every shower cubicle one was missed, and the same with the toilet facilities. That's a possibility, and maybe might come a little bit later. So the question is, how are you going to adapt to this new normal? To help you, we've put a few sites and a playlist up above which you can look at to see sites that you might consider up here in the northeast. We'll also put below a couple of videos about our 2018 best sites and 2019 best sites, and we'll put a link above to a playlist of sites that we have visited up here in the northeast. Please give our video a like. If you don't already, please consider subscribing to our channel, and it just leaves me to say, keep safe.